This is just a video with anecdotal stories that I wanted to make because my brother was just here visiting my mom, and he also has Asperger's, so I thought I could show some photos about it and let you guys know how he is, because you seem to be interested in how I am. So yeah, and I'm going to keep it short this time because it always ends up being over 10 minutes, and that's crappy. So yeah, on to stuff. First of all, this is not a new webcam. This is in fact my old digital camera, because my old webcam doesn't work on Windows 7 because it's too old, I suppose. So I'm going to have to buy a new webcam, but in the meantime I'm going to have to use this webcam, I mean camera, in case you're wondering. I'm sure you were. And also I have a headset on because my old mic isn't good and this mic is better. Yay. And yeah, I guess I should tell you the backstory. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe it's private. Either way, my mom has gotten a hemorrhage, I think you pronounce it. They told us it was a brain tumor, which they later told us it wasn't, and that it might be something else, but that's not really part of the story. Either way, my mother got a disease kind of thing, and my brother, whom hasn't talked to my mother in years for different reasons, called her and started talking to her. Personally, I don't know why he has decided to call her, but he did, so it's good news, I suppose. And he wanted to meet her before the operation. He wanted to meet her like the last time, and it was awkward. But he came up here. He lives in the other end of Sweden. He came up here and he lived in a trailer thing outside my house. And here's a photo of him, just so you know what I'm talking about. And it's interesting, really, because he's a hippie. He's pretty much a hippie. I don't think he would even argue against that. Well, he would, because it would put him in a compartment, and he doesn't want to be in a compartment. He's got this big bushy beard. He's bald for some reason. Now he's got these grandpa owl glasses on. He buys clothes at second-hand shops, and he keeps talking and thinking about conspiracy theories. You know, can humans have magic powers? He used to try to get objects to move with his mind powers and fail. And I just find it interesting how different he is compared to me. Because I'm more like, you know, try to keep it clean. I try to get a job. He doesn't. I don't believe in magic and things like that. I'm more like a scientist. A bad one. And we're brothers. We're only 4 years apart. Yet he is weird, and I am clean. Yet we both have Asperger's. And that's interesting, because, like I said in a previous video, just because you have Asperger's doesn't mean you have to be in a certain way. Certain things might be the same, but you can still have your own thing going on. I've heard rumors that he hasn't gotten his Asperger's diagnosis completed. But those rumors were from my dad, and I hate my dad, so I don't believe them. Either way, right, he came here and met my mom, and we went to the beer park, the zoo with beers we have up here, called Grönklitt. No jokes. And we had a good time. It was fun. My mom and my brother, who hasn't talked in years, me and my brother, who hasn't met in years, and me and my mom, who's had a kind of confusing past. Plus my mom had the hemorrhage, and she was going to go to the operating room the next day. And you had a good time. It was kind of a blessing in a way. And yeah, pictures of a bear, because we have bears up here, and we put them in cages. That's, for the tourists. And yeah, after that, my mom went to the hospital, and my brother lived with me, and we played video games non-stop. My brother wanted to go out in the forest and, spelunk. Or that may be the wrong expression. But still, he wanted to go out in the forest, but it rained too much, so he couldn't. But he didn't mind, because we just stayed indoors and played video games. And watched some Samurai Jack, and talked about random things. Which is awesome. I look kind of funny in photos, but he always looks so friggin' cool. I don't know how he makes it. Either way, that's one story. Since I started making the Asperger's videos, people have been starting to send me emails and comments telling me what they do. That's Aspie. And part of me is flattered that they care. Part of me don't care. I shouldn't say that, but I mean, I'd never asked for it. It's just interesting how people just explain this is how I am just because they saw a video of me explaining how I am. But I guess it's cool because I'm helping them understand themselves. And I had no point to saying that. I just thought that was interesting information for you to know. And right, I have a couple of Asperger-related ideas for videos I want to record, but in a bit. And another thing is that I started talking to this girl online. Not you, you know who I am, who you are. I started talking to another girl who, because she has Asperger's, who wrote to me on YouTube, who's also from Sweden, and I just want to point out how amazingly fun it is to talk to somebody with Asperger's when you have Asperger's. Several different things, like you don't have to explain yourself all the time. They automatically knows what you're talking about. It's kind of like if you have Asperger's and watching this video or the other videos, you probably feel some kind of connection even though you don't have one. Because Asperger's is like a group of people who are different from other people. So it's like if you're an emo, you might connect with other emos. Only in that case, it's not really an emotion bond thing. Asperger's versus Asperger's is more connected. It's more like the brain matches. And if that made sense to you, then you probably have Asperger's. I just wanted to say that, because if you have Asperger's, you should find other people with Asperger's and talk to them, because you will learn more about yourself. I need to practice my English, my pronunciation of English. I need to pronounce things better. Right. That's pretty much in a nutshell all I had to say. Just some random stories of my brother. And in case you're wondering, the hat is mine. I wish it fit. It's too small. If it fit my head, I would wear it to work every day, because you have to wear a hat as a chef. So keep sending me mails. It's actually kind of fun. Bye.